You ever notice how success is never where they told you it would be? They act like it's right over there or in the corner waiting for you. Just keep going and you'll get it. So you hustle, you sweat, you stress, you chase, and when you finally get there, surprise, they moved it. Nobody told you, but they moved the damn thing. You feel like a dog chasing a ball, except every time you get close, the ball just rolls another 50 feet away. And the people holding the leash, they just smile and say, "Well, isn't that funny? You almost had it. Keep running, buddy." The success is like that carnival game where you're supposed to shoot the little red star out of the paper with the BB gun. They make it look easy, but no matter how many shots you take, there's always that tiny sliver left. And when you ask why you didn't win, the guy at the booth shrugs and says, "Oh, sorry, try again." Except in real life, the booth is your boss, the BB are yours, and the paper star is your sanity. When you're a kid, success is simple. Get good grades. That's it. You want to succeed, little Johnny? Bring home the A's. So you do it. You study, you spell a chrysanthemum right, you memorize the state capitals, and you bring home the A's. And what do they say? "Oh, good job, now keep it up." Keep it up. I thought that was it. I thought I won. Turns out success was just upgraded. Now it's not just good grades, it's good grades plus college. And not just any college. The right college. The one with the big price tag and the fancy brochures where the students are always smiling under a tree. You ever see those brochures? Every student looks like they just got handed the key to eternal joy. Nobody looks like they're broke, stressed, and living on noodles. Because if they showed you the truth, nobody would pay for it. So you get into college, thinking you're on track. Success is coming, and what happens? They move it again. Now success isn't just getting into college, it's graduating, and not just graduating, but graduating with honors. Because suddenly a diploma isn't enough, you need a diploma with sparkle. And then when you graduate, well, now you need a job. Okay, fine, you get a job. Oh, not that job, though. You need a better job. You see the pattern? Every finish line is just a checkpoint in somebody else's marathon. The job market is its own kind of joke. You get the job, you're excited, you're proud, you think you've made it. Then you sit in that office for 2 weeks and realize the guy next to you has a bigger desk. A bigger desk. And suddenly you're thinking, well, I can't stop here. I need the bigger desk. And once you get the bigger desk, you notice the guy across the hall has an actual office with a door. A door. Privacy. And then the guy upstairs is not only an office, but a secretary. And the guy above him has a secretary, an assistant, and a parking space. And before you know it, your definition of success has shifted from "you just want a job" to "I won't be happy until I've got an office with my name on the door. And a parking spot with my name on the pavement." But here's the trick. When you finally get the office, you realize the guy upstairs has a corner office with windows. And the sunlight shines in, and it looks like heaven itself has chosen him as its favorite. And now you don't want just an office, you want that office. And when you finally claw your way into the corner office, guess what? They built a new floor above you, and now the guy up there has a view of the whole city. They keep moving the damn line. It's not just work either, it's life. You get the car, you're thrilled, it's yours, you're free. Then you realize, well, it's not a new car. It's used. The neighbor has a new one, shiny, the smell of fresh upholstery, no coffee stains, no squeaky brakes. And suddenly your car isn't success anymore, it's a temporary embarrassment. So you trade up, get the new one, smell the leather, enjoy it for a week. Then you see somebody with a better car, and then someone with 2 cars, and then someone with a car and a boat, and then someone with a car, a boat, and a summer house. You started out thinking success was just having wheels. And now you're convinced it's not success until you're parking a yacht in your own private marina. Same with houses. You get the apartment, you're proud, you're independent. Then you start thinking, well, real success is buying a house. Then you buy the house, and suddenly the house isn't enough. You need a bigger house. You need a better neighborhood. You need 2 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms, a swimming pool, a backyard big enough to get lost in. And the thing about houses is, no matter what you buy, someone has one bigger, newer, shinier, with more gadgets and more granite countertops. Granite countertops. People actually measure success in rocks now. Oh, your kitchen has laminate? How cute. Mine is granite. You're not even cooking. You're just competing in a countertop contest. The whole thing is designed to keep you chasing. They can't let you stop because if you stopped, you'd realize you don't even need half this crap. But they don't want you realizing that. They want you busy, distracted, always reaching. They dangle the carrot, and when you get close, they yank it a little farther away. It's like those cartoons where the guy is running after a dangling sandwich. That's your life. Except you never get to eat the sandwich, you just get hungrier. Even relationships get turned into success contests. You're single, so they say success is finding somebody. You find somebody, you're happy, you're in love. Then they say success is getting married, so you get married. And then success is having kids. So you have kids, and then success is having the right number of kids in the right schools, wearing the right clothes, playing the right sports. And suddenly your success isn't about love or happiness. It's about whether your kid's soccer uniform looks as good as the neighbor's. They've moved the line so many times you don't even remember where it started. And the workplace has its own comedy, their promotion. And they tell you, work hard and you'll move up the ladder. What they don't tell you is the ladder never ends. It's like one of those moving escalators, except you're running up and it keeps stretching. You finally get promoted, you're happy for a week, maybe 2. Then you look up and see 5 more rungs above you. And the guy at the top is waving. Not to say hello, but to say, keep climbing, sucker. Even when you think you've made it, there's always somebody standing there to remind you that you haven't. You buy the house, they tell you about property taxes. You get the job, they tell you about office politics. You get the car, they tell you about insurance. You think you've arrived, but it's just another station on a train that never stops. And the conductor keeps yelling, "Your next stop, real success." But the train never pulls into the station. It just keeps rolling, and you're stuck on board buying overpriced snacks, waiting for an arrival that never comes. The whole joke of success is that it's never in the present. It's always somewhere else. When you're in school, success is in college. When you're in college, success is in the job. When you're in the job, success is in the promotion. When you're promoted, success is in retirement. And when you retire, success is supposed to be in finally relaxing. Except by then, you're too tired to care. They sold you a dream that kept running ahead of you. And when you finally catch your breath, you realize the dream wasn't even real. The moving target of success is the oldest scam in the book. And the punchline is, the target isn't even moving. It's you. You're the one moving, chasing, running in circles, while the people telling you about success sit back and laugh. They don't need the finish line. They've got you busy chasing it. And the best part for them? You never stop. You keep running until the day you drop, still thinking, "I'm almost there." The truth is, the game was rigged from the start. They don't want you to feel successful because if you ever did, you'd stop playing. And if you stopped playing, the whole circus would collapse. So they keep the music going, they keep the prizes flashing, and they keep whispering in your ear, "Almost there. Almost there. Almost there." But you're not. You never are. That's the design, that's the gag, that's the joke, and the joke's on you. People think success is this personal thing, this private little goal you set for yourself, but let's be honest. It's never about you. It's about the guy next to you. Nobody wants to succeed. They just want to succeed more than someone else. That's the whole game. You don't want a new car, you want a newer car than your neighbor. You don't want a raise. You want a raise bigger than the guy in the next cubicle. You don't even want a good vacation. You want a vacation that makes your friends jealous when they see the pictures. That's what it is. Success is basically bragging rights with a price tag. And the joke is, there's always somebody out there with more. Always. You think you're doing great. You bought yourself a nice couch. Finally got rid of the lumpy one with springs sticking out. You're proud. Then you go visit somebody else and their couch massages you. You reclines automatically and brings you a drink. Suddenly your couch is garbage. That's the trap. You can't even sit down in peace without thinking, "Why is my ass not vibrating with luxury?" It starts when you're a kid. You're in school, you bring your sandwich in a little paper bag and you feel fine about it. Until you see another kid with a lunchbox that has a superhero on it. Now your sandwich tastes like shame. Later, you're happy with your little bike until some kid rolls by with a shiny 10-speed that looks like it was built by NASA. And the pattern never stops. You get older, the toys just get more expensive. Your neighbor's lawn is greener, your coworker's watch is shinier, your cousin's wedding cake has more layers. And there you are, feeling like you've been downgraded in your own life, just because someone else went bigger. And people get caught in this madness. They can't enjoy what they have, because the second someone else has more, theirs becomes worthless. A guy could be perfectly happy with his car. It runs, it's clean, it gets him where he needs to go. But then his buddy pulls up in something new and shiny, and suddenly his perfectly good car feels like a rolling embarrassment. Nothing changed about the car, it still works. But the guy can't stand it anymore because it's not enough compared to the other guys. That's the whole scam. Success isn't about what you actually have. It's about how what you have looks stacked up against somebody else's pile. And it's funny how sneaky it is. People don't admit it. They won't say, "I'm jealous." Oh no. They dress it up. They say, "Oh, I just want to do better for myself." Yeah? Then why is it you only want better for yourself right after you see somebody else showing off? If you were really doing it for yourself, you wouldn't need an audience. You wouldn't need an audience. You wouldn't need to post it, brag about it, parade it around. You just have it, enjoy it, move on. But no, success is meaningless without someone else to compare it to. It's like running on a track. You're not running to get somewhere, you're running to beat the person next to you. If they slow down, you relax. If they speed up, you panic. You're not even thinking about the finish line, you're thinking about where you are compared to them. When the race never ends, nobody ever wins. The gun never fires and says, "That's it, we're done." You just keep running round and round until you collapse, and then the next bunch of schmucks takes your place. That's life. A relay race nobody has to enter with a baton full of anxiety. And you know who loves this? The people selling the stuff. They figured it out a long time ago. They know you don't want the thing. You want the feeling of being ahead of someone else. So they sell you the illusion. They don't say, "I'll buy this because it works." They say, "Buy this because it's better than what your neighbor has." They sell you the comparison. That's why commercials always show someone looking miserable without the product, then happy once they have it. The message isn't, "This will help you." The message is, "This will help you win." And people eat it up. They'll go into debt, they'll work themselves into the ground, all so they can wave their little trophy in someone else's face. The whole thing is ridiculous when you think about it. People chasing a life that looks good instead of a life that feels good. They'll skip vacations, miss family dinners, sacrifice sleep, just so they can afford the shiny thing that proves they're doing better than the next guy. And the moment they get it, the moment they finally feel like a champion, somebody else comes along with something newer, bigger, better. And there it goes. Poof. Poof. Success evaporates the second someone else levels up. You don't even get to enjoy it. It's like renting happiness by the minute. And the cycle doesn't stop because it's baked into the way people see themselves. You can't just be rich. You've got to be richer. You can't just be smart. You've got to be smarter. You can't just be attractive. You've got to be more attractive than whoever else walks into the room. It never ends because there's always another person to compare yourself to. It's like trying to hold water in your hand. No matter how much you scoop up, it slips through your fingers the second you look around. You know what's really crazy? Half the time, the people you're comparing yourself to are just as miserable as you are. They don't feel successful either, because they're busy comparing themselves to someone else. It's like a ladder where everyone's staring at the person above them, wishing they could climb higher, while the guy above is staring at someone else, wishing the same thing. Nobody looks down to realize someone below is staring up at them. Nobody feels like they've made it. Everyone feels behind. Oh, that's the secret. Success is out of reach because the definition keeps moving one rung higher forever. And people waste their whole lives in this trap. They could be happy with what they've got, but they can't because someone else has more. They could feel proud of their achievements, but they won't because somebody else achieved more. They could relax, breathe, enjoy life, but they don't because the scoreboard in their head never turns off. And the funny thing is, nobody else is keeping score. Nobody cares about your imaginary game because they're too busy keeping score on themselves. It's insanity. Everyone trapped in their own little competition, thinking the world is watching. When really the world is too busy worrying about itself. The comedy of it is that the whole thing is optional. You don't have to compare. You don't have to measure. You don't have to run the race. You could just stop. You could say, you know what? My couch is fine. My car is fine. My life is fine. But people won't do it because they're addicted to the chase. They can't imagine living without a scoreboard. They need to know who's winning even though there are no winners. They need to know who's ahead even though there's no finish line. It's like a game with no rules, no end, and no prize. And somehow everybody still plays. That's the punchline of comparison. The whole trap is invisible until you stop running. But nobody wants to stop because they think stopping makes them a loser. And as long as you're scared of losing, you can never actually win. That's the kind of twisted logic people live their whole lives on. You run, you stress, you compare, you envy, all so you can keep up in a race nobody even cares about. And the real life? The scoreboard only exists in your head. They always tell you success will make you happy. That's the big sales pitch. Work hard, climb the ladder, buy the house, get the car, and you'll finally be happy. Like happiness is waiting for you at the finish line holding a balloon and a slice of cake. But when you finally get there, you realize happiness took the day off. They promised you a party, but all you get is a bill. That's the scam. They don't sell you happiness. They sell you the idea that happiness comes later after you bought their package deal. It's like one of those cereal boxes that says a toy inside. You rip it open, pour out the cereal, dig to the bottom, and the toy is missing. Happiness is the missing toy. The myth is that success equals happiness. But the truth is, success just means you're on a treadmill. The treadmill looks nice, shiny, high-tech, maybe with a cup holder and a fan, but you're still running in place. You sweat, you grind, you pant, and when you stop, you're right where you started, except now you're tired. That's what chasing happiness through success feels like, exhausting yourself to stay in the same spot. You ever notice how the commercials never show anybody who's already happy? It's always some sad, stressed-out person who suddenly buys the new car and bam, they're smiling like a toothpaste model. The implication is clear. You weren't happy before, but now you will be. All it took was 30 grand and a 6-year loan. They've convinced people that joy can be financed. Meanwhile, the guy in the commercial probably took the bus to the audition and borrowed the suit. But in 30 seconds, he's the poster child for fulfillment. The workplace has its own flavor of this nonsense. You think getting that promotion will finally make you happy. You fantasize about it. The new office, the respect, the paycheck. And when it finally happens, you celebrate for a week. Maybe you buy yourself something nice, go out to dinner. But then the shine fades and you realize you're just doing the same crap with a fancier title. You're not happier, you're just busier. Success gave you a bigger desk, but the same headaches. You don't sleep better because of the promotion. You just lose sleep worrying about the next one. And the craziest part? People brag about their misery. That's how twisted the myth has become. You ask somebody how they're doing and they go, "Oh, I've been working 60 hours a week. I'm exhausted. I barely see my family." And they expect applause. They wear suffering like a medal. They think the more miserable they are, the closer they must be to success. Look how hard I'm working. I must be happy soon. That's like saying, look how much I'm starving. I must be full soon. It doesn't add up. Even retirement is part of the scam. You're told to work your whole life, save every penny, and then finally in your golden years, you'll be happy. That's the pitch. Suffer now, smile later. But later comes and half the time you're too tired to enjoy it. You've spent 40 years putting off happiness, waiting for some magical future, only to find out the future isn't magical. It's just you, older, stiffer, wondering what the hell happened. The myth robbed you of the present in exchange for a promise that never arrived. It's everywhere. Take vacations. They say you work hard all year, and you'll earn 2 weeks of happiness. 2 weeks out of 52. You sell your soul for 50 weeks so you can rent it back for 2. And during those 2 weeks, you're not even relaxed because you're thinking about the 50 weeks waiting for you when you get back. That's not happiness. That's temporary amnesia. They don't want you actually happy because happy people don't buy much. Miserable people spend money. Happiness is bad for business. The same goes for all the toys they sell. They convince you the gadget, the car, the clothes, the house, those are the keys to happiness. And when you buy them, you do feel happy, but only for a moment. That's the hook. The first week you're thrilled. The second week you're okay. By the third week you barely notice. And by the fourth week you're already looking for the next thing. It's not happiness, it's distraction. Success keeps you shopping for joy in aisle 9. But the shelf is always empty. The funniest part is how people try to justify it. You ask them if they're happy and they say, "Oh, I'm getting there." Where is there? They talk about happiness like it's a bus stop. "Oh, don't worry, I'm on my way. Should be there any day now." No, you're not. You're on a bus that keeps circling the block, and every time you look out the window, the driver says, "The next stop, happiness," but he never opens the door. And you stay on the bus, clutching your ticket, convinced the stop is just around the corner. Even in families, the myth creeps in. Parents tell kids to do well in school, get into college, find a good job, and you'll be happy. And the kids believe it. They run the race, they check the boxes, and they grow up confused, wondering why they still feel empty. And they pass the same line to their own kids, because that's all they know. It's a cycle of disappointment wrapped in a bow. Nobody wants to admit they were sold a lie, so they keep selling it to the next generation. And love isn't immune either. They tell you, find the right partner, get married, and you'll be happy. So people rush into it thinking the ring is the magic key. Then after the honeymoon, they realize happiness doesn't come with the ceremony. Now they're two people staring at each other, waiting for the joy to show up like a late pizza. And when it doesn't, they think something's wrong. But nothing's wrong. It's just that success in love doesn't guarantee happiness any more than success in work. But the myth keeps people running, desperate to fix what isn't broken, chasing happiness where it doesn't live. The whole thing is built on delay. Be happy later, smile later, relax later. Later is the word they use to control you. Because as long as you're waiting for later, you'll keep working, keep buying, keep sacrificing. Later is the leash, and happiness is the carrot dangling in front of you. And the cruelest part is, later never comes. It's always later, never now. By the time you realize that, most of your nows are gone. And the truth nobody wants to admit is that success doesn't bring happiness. It brings more success to chase. The second you achieve one thing, there's another thing waiting. You graduate, then you need the job. You get the job, then you need the promotion. You buy the house, then you need the bigger house. It's a staircase with no top floor. You keep climbing, thinking the next step will be the one that feels good. But the staircase just keeps going until you're too tired to climb. Happiness wasn't at the top. It was sitting on the step you skipped 20 years ago. But you missed it because you were too busy running past it. That's the real gag. Happiness isn't in success. It's in the moments you ignore while chasing it. The laugh you had with a friend, the walk you took on a sunny day, the stupid little joys that don't cost a dime. Those were the real thing. But you brushed them off, thinking the big prize was around the corner. And when you finally get to the corner, all you find is another corner. That's the setup. That's the joke. And the punchline is brutal. The myth of happiness through success is what keeps you from being happy in the first place. Because the second you believe it, you're trapped. You're locked in a game you can't win, chasing a prize that doesn't exist, running laps on a track that goes nowhere. And you spend your whole life looking for the party at the finish line, only to realize the party was happening the whole time, and you walked right past it. And that's why success never makes anybody happy. The whole chase for success is supposed to be serious. Everybody's running around like maniacs, sweating, stressing, climbing, crawling, scheming, all because they think there's this big payoff at the end. And the joke, the cosmic gag, is that there is no payoff. The chase itself is the gag. You're running in circles, thinking you're getting closer, when really you're just getting dizzy. It's like a dog chasing its tail, except the dog has the good sense to stop once in a while and lie down. People never stop. They think the tail's got money in it. That's the whole trick. Keep them running. They sell you the idea that life is a big game of hide and seek, and success is hiding somewhere just out of reach. But success isn't hiding. There's nothing there. You're looking for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but the rainbow keeps moving because you're moving. The rainbow doesn't end. it bends, and you're stuck on the ground, chasing colors in the sky like a confused leprechaun, and everybody buys into it. The teachers, the bosses, the neighbors, the family, everybody's in on the gag. Not because they know it's a gag, but because they're just as trapped as you are. They were told to run, so they tell you to run. They were told to chase, so they hand you the baton. Nobody ever stops to ask, hey, is this race even real? Because the second you ask, the whole illusion falls apart, and it is an illusion. Think about it. You're told to get the grades, get the job, get the promotion, get the house, get the car, get the stuff. But notice it's always get. Never enjoy. Never a lie. Never a be, just a get. Like life is a giant shopping list, and you're checking things off, racing down the aisles. I got the car, got the job, got the house, got the stress, got the debt. And the weirdest part, you're not even shopping for yourself. Half the time you're shopping to show other people what you bought. You're not living life. You're staging it like a photo shoot. That's where the comedy is. You're on this mad dash for success, but the finish line keeps getting moved, and when you finally get close, all you find is another line, another list, another chase. It's like one of those carnival funhouse mirrors. You think you're heading toward the exit, but every turn just leads to another reflection of yourself, looking just as lost and confused. And the carny standing outside is laughing his head off. Because the real funhouse isn't the mirrors, it's you trying to escape them. And let's be honest, people don't even enjoy the chase, they complain the whole time. Oh, I'm so tired, I'm so stressed, I hate my job. I can't take this anymore. But do they stop? No. They keep running because they think misery is part of the package. They think the suffering proves the payoff is real. I must be close to success because I'm miserable. That's how brainwashed people are. They treat misery as evidence. That's like getting food poisoning and saying, well, it must be gourmet because it hurts. And the chase infects everything. Work, love, money, status, even hobbies. You take up a hobby to relax, and before long you're competing. You buy some paints, you're having fun, you're making a mess, and then you see somebody else painting better than you. Suddenly it's not fun anymore. Now it's a race. Now you're chasing. You can't even relax without turning it into a contest. The chase creeps in like mold, turning everything sour. The worst part is how people look at others while they're chasing. They see somebody else running faster, and they panic. Oh no, I'm falling behind. Behind what? Behind who? There is no scoreboard. There is no trophy. It's not a race. It's a treadmill. You're not behind. You're just next to another schmuck sweating in a different pair of shoes. And the treadmill never stops. That's the beauty of it for the people selling it anyway. They've built an endless marathon, and you're proud to run in it. You even pay for the privilege. You pay for the sneakers, the outfits, the memberships, all to run in circles and go nowhere. That's not ambition. That's insanity with receipts. And here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Even the so-called winners today don't win. The people at the top, the ones who look like they've got it all, they're still chasing. They're chasing bigger, better, faster, shinier. The chase never ends. It doesn't matter if you're broke and chasing rent money or rich and chasing another yacht. It's the same treadmill, just at different speeds. And everybody's too busy running to realize the joke's on them. You see it in the way people talk. Nobody ever says, I've made it. They always say, I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I'm close. Close to what? Close to a mirage. That's the punchline. You're always almost there. Almost happy, almost successful, almost done. You spend your whole life almost living, almost smiling, almost enjoying yourself because you're saving the real thing for later. Later is the word they dangle in front of you, like a magician keeping your eyes off the trick. Later, later, later. And then one day you run out of laters. But even when people sense the joke, they don't want to admit it. Because if you admit it, the whole chase was pointless. And people don't like to think their life was a pointless run in circles. So they double down. They run harder. They work longer. They convince themselves, no, I must be close this time. It's like a gambler feeding quarters into a slot machine. The machine never pays. But you keep thinking, and the next one, and the machine keeps ringing and flashing just enough to keep you hooked. The chase is the slot machine of life, and everybody's addicted to losing. And the sad, funny truth is, the chase robs you of the very thing you're chasing. You're running after happiness, but the running makes you miserable. You're chasing peace, but the chase keeps you frantic. You're chasing success, but the chase itself makes you feel like a failure. The irony is delicious. The faster you run, the farther away the finish line gets. You're not failing to catch it. The chase guarantees you never will. That's the joke baked right into the system. And the cruelest laugh of all. You don't need the chase. You don't need the ladder, the race, the treadmill, the scoreboard. Life doesn't need a finish line to matter. But they don't want you figuring that out, because if you did, you'd step off the treadmill. You'd sit down, you'd laugh, you'd enjoy the damn sandwich without worrying about who's got more cheese. And that would ruin the whole business. They need you chasing because the chase is profitable. Your misery is marketable. Your exhaustion is somebody's paycheck. And your endless search for success is the best product they ever sold, because you can't return it and it never runs out. So you keep running, you keep sweating, you keep promising yourself that one day, when you finally get there, you'll be happy. You'll be happy. And the cosmic gag is there is no there. There never was. There's just here. And the longer you spend chasing there, the less time you spend living here. That's the setup. That's the trick. That's the punchline. And the punchline is you were the joke all along.